Hello everyone. Today's poem is Bei Feng, Yan Yan by Yiming or by Anonymous, a Bei Wind poem from the Book of Songs, 诗经. The title, Yan Yan, means the bird of swallow. Yan means swallow, and the double words Yan Yan still means swallow, but it's the writing techniques, reduplication, which is quite often seen in the Chinese writings. It makes the rhythm dynamic and pleasant. This poem, together with another poem in Bei Wind, 泉水, the spring, was treated as the first or the very origin of the poetry type, farewell poetry or the parting poetry. So that's a big bunch of poetry in the classic Chinese poetry, and so many famous poems was in this category because farewell, parting is a very, very common feeling shared among everybody, and especially in the ancient time, the farewell or the parting could be the last time they see each other, they have each other, and after farewell, after parting, they will never see each other in their lifetime. So that will much more enhance the feeling, the sadness of parting and farewell. So that's one of the main reasons I believe the parting poetry or the farewell poetry is so popular and touching in the classic Chinese poetry. And so the scenario depict in this poem, together with the scenario depict in the Bei Feng 泉水, the Bei Wind spring, became a very, very typical situation in a Chinese parting poetry, in a farewell poetry. So the host see off the person who's getting away or who is leaving. They will walk or drive or ride the horse for a long distance for many days, weeks, even months in the ancient times. And finally, at a very typical spot at the riverside, that's the boundaries of the regions or maybe of the state, they have to say farewell or part for the real sense, and they have a big dinner, they have the toast, they have drinkings, and try to have some of the relief of the sadness, and then they parted. And so in this poem, try to figure out the scenario depicted, and then later when you read the later generations poems, especially the Tang poetry, the Zhong poetry, you can see so many resonance from this poem. The literature image of swallow means a lot for Chinese, and you can see many poems in the later generations. They also wrote about swallows. Today, we know the swallow come back to North China in the early springtime, and it stayed in Africa in the winter's time. So for Chinese, especially the Asian Chinese, the swallow, when it's first glance of the swallow in the spring times, and they know the spring comes, sometimes you may not notice the spring comes. So the flying swallow, the sound of swallow, is the very obvious signal of the spring comes. and the swallow build their nest under the roof. So for Chinese, it also means a lot, sort of the homeward bound animals, or it just means the homeward bound. Maybe that's the main reason that Chinese adore swallows so much, take great care of the swallow and swallow nest, and never allow the kids to do any harm to the swallow and the swallow nest. So that's very typical, and that's very almost a common sense for Chinese. And also there's a saying that the swallows always return to the same house, to the same nest, 1 year after another years. So that make the swallow more adorable to Chinese. That's the focal point, or that's the core value a family means. Let's look at the poem now. 燕燕于飞，墉池其羽. The swallow was flying on the air. Its wing extended and then shrinked, pulled back. So the first sentence is a very typical writing technique, 兴. It depicts the scenario around, not necessarily related with the topic. 墉池 describe the status that a lot of things there, but some of them are short, shrinked, some of them are very long, extended, a little bit mess up. And here it used to describe the wings. When the swallow was flying, the wing extended for a while, and the wings shrinked for a while. So it means they vividly describe the swallow, the status of the swallow flying in the air. The second pair of sentence, 之子于归，远送于野. So 之子于归 is a very, very typical and frequent sentence in the Book of Songs. 之 means go to somewhere, or it also implies to go out, not come in. So 子, the sons, the daughters, the later generations. So the 之子 actually means the sons bound to go out. So this is a very, very easy to understand for Chinese. So in the ancient China, just imagine the social structure is by the blood, by the families. So that when the family have kids, have some sons, have several daughters, the sons will stay with the family always. And daughters was so-called 之子. They are the sons bound to go out. They will go to another families, and when they died, the sons will have a panel in the family's temple, and the daughters will be attached to her husband's family temple, so not in her real father and mother and in her real family's temple. 归 means go home, and later on it extends its meaning to sort of the final destinations. Let's see, for a girl, the final destination is the marriage or another family other than her father or mother's family. And also, 归 has extended its meaning as death, because the death is also a final destination for everyone. So here, let's see the sentence again. 之子于归. So the final destination for the daughters, for the girls, what's that? The marriage, right? 之子于归 finally became a standard term of marriage, but only it only applied to girl because 之子 is very clearly tell us it's the girl. And when we're talking about a marriage for a girl, we can call 之子于归. 远送于野, so I sing him off for a quite long way and until to the wild place. So here we know the poet himself is the father or brother of the girl, and he's saying her off and escort her a long way. 野 is a very delicate term in the Zhou dynasty. So briefly, in the Zhou dynasty, the people are in big two categories, the upper level people and the lower level people, the slaveries. So the upper level people, the noble persons, the citizens, they lived in the town and the suburb. The suburb surround the town, and further beyond the area, the land was so-called Ye. The Ye is not wild place. It could be farming field. It could be the hunting ground, and the slaveries they lived in this area. So in this poem, of course, we know it's a noble person, and seeing her sister off for a marriage far away, and he escort her sister, walked her a long way, could be until the area of Ye, could be 10 kilometers, could be 50 kilometers, could be hundreds kilometers. It's hard to tell. It's just according how this state, how big the state is. It could have a very, very big wild place. It could be just be 10 kilometers away from the town. 瞻望弗及，泣涕如雨. So I look to the far distance, but I still can't see her. My tears coming down like raining. So in the third pair of sentences, it tells us it's a real parting place and time, and the father or the brother stand there at the boundary of a river or maybe the state, seeing the girl went far beyond, and he became so sad, and he felt he can never see her daughter or her sister anymore. So he cries heavily. In the first paragraph, the poet tells us he was seeing her daughter or sister off for a marriage, and they walked a long way together until the wild place. The swallows, many swallows was flying around, and at the last they had to part, and the poet cannot see the girl in the distance, and he feels so sad. He cries heavily. The teardrops like the rain. The second and third paragraph are almost identical to the first paragraph, but with progress. The situation was in progress. Okay, the second paragraph. 燕燕于飞，颉之颃之。之 go. So for a bird, it's flying. So the swallows was flying in the air. 颉, it flies up and it flies down. So this is also a very vivid description of the swallows in the early spring, in the wild. 之子于归，远于将之. So the girl is going far away for a marriage. We take a lot of things to the far, far place with her. 远于将之, jiang is take. So the typical marriage is the boy's family will send a troop to the girl's family, and they welcome the girl and go with the girl. The big troop goes back to the boy's family, and the girl's family also will see the troops off and also will send a lot of gifts and goods for the new couple. So here, 远于将之, it tells very clearly they send a lot of stuff for the new couple, and they walked a long way to escort, to see them off, walked a long way, and they take all those things, walked a long way. That's a lot of the hard work. 瞻望弗及，伫立以泣. So it's almost repeating, but with a little bit change. I cannot see the girl in the far distance. 弗及 cannot see. 伫立以泣. 伫立 means I standing for a quite long time here, and I crying. So here it has some of the difference from the first paragraph. It says the girl actually has left for quite a long time, but the father or the brother still don't turn back. He's still standing at some of the place, the boundary place, and crying heavily. The third paragraph. 燕燕于飞，下上其音. The swallows are flying in the air. The sound of swallows sometimes are above, high above, sometimes are down below. 之子于归，远送于南. The girl was going to the far distance for a marriage, and we are sending her to the south place. So here, it points out very clearly the girl would be married to a state in the south. So it also established the tradition for a parting poetry or a farewell poetry that it should indicate very clearly where they are seeing off and where is the destination for the parted person. And we cannot see the very actual place in this poetry where they are seeing off, but first thing first, they are the people of Bei state, and it also point out very generally they reached the most far distanced in a wild place, and then they parted. One more thing we should keep up in our mind is the Bei state is a very prosperous and civilized area, even could be the most prosperous and civilized place in that time. And the South states normally means uncivilized, wild place. So here it's also enhanced the sadness of the poet, of everybody, because the girl was married to a much poor, uncivilized place. 瞻望弗及，时劳我心. So the girl is in the far distance. I cannot see her anymore. 时劳我心. Lao is busy. So in the general meaning, it's busy. And because the vocabulary is not so abundant, so 时劳我心 is seen quite often in the Book of Songs, and it also means it makes the feeling so hard. It's not just busy, it's make the feelings so hard, the emotions so sad. The fourth paragraph. My interpretation is quite different than the normal explanations. You can search the internet for the normal explanations and have your comparison and conclusion. 种氏认之，其心色渊。种氏 the family name. 氏 means the character before 氏 always means the family name. And Ren is also a family name. So in the very ancient China, especially in the Zhou dynasty, people could have two family names. One is the very, very original family names. And when the family expanded, so they relocated to different places, and then they used the place's name as their family names as well. The family name related with the locations is 氏. So here, in this case, 任 is the very, very original family names, and 种 is the family name related with the locations. So here, it gives us a much better precise idea who this family or who are these people, the poet, the girls, and a bunch of people seeing the girl off for a marriage. So they are all the people from the Zhong families. The character 之 means a crowd of people. So here, 种氏认之, the meaning almost identical. 种氏 means the people with the family name of 种. 认之, the crowd with the family name of 任. So they actually means the same thing. The people who is seeing the girl off, and also the people with the girl and the girl. So they are all the Zhong descendants, the family Zhong descendants. They are all the Ren family descendants. 其心渊色渊, their heart was stuck, blocked. 色 is blocked, stuck. Yuan is very deep, so their heart sunk to a very, very deep place. So this is a very typical Chinese saying that when a people feels very happy, he might say his heart go on, go above. And if he feels very sad, he will say his heart go down. 心沉下去了, the heart sunk down. So this is a saying even today we still used. So the first pair of sentence means the people of the Zhong family, the people of the Ren family, all their hearts feel stuck and sunk. So that means everybody is so sad. 中温且惠，殊胜其身. This is the words the family, the father or the big brother for the married girl. They may never see each other in the lifetime. So this is the last words the family, the father, the brother gave to the married girl. 温 means mild, gentle, moderate. 惠 merciful, kind. 中温且惠 means please be gentle, moderate, and be merciful, be kind to others. 殊胜其身, this is a wish. Please, I wish your body, I wish yourself with lucky and considerate. 殊 is lucky, good fortune. 胜 means be considerate. So the last words for the married girl is in two ways. Half of them are an urge to the girl. Please be gentle, please be merciful. And the other part is a good wish. I wish you with good luck. I wish you be considerate. Okay, the last pair of sentences. 先君之思，以恤寡人. That's the thoughts of our past lord or of our ancestors. That's the words to encourage myself. 寡人 is the term in that time to call oneself, and that person should be a lord, not a normal person. So here we know in that time the family Zhong still is a lord, is a noble family. And 先君 refers to their ancestors. So according to the history book, there's a very famous Zhong people, Zhong Hui. He is the key person to help to establish the Yin dynasty or the Shang dynasty. And also he's quite famous for one of the article about the political styles for how to manage a country. So here it most probably or very probably refers to that article, 种毁之告. Another possible history figure the ancestor refers to is 太任, the mother of the first king of Zhou dynasty, 周文王. It was told 太任 was with very, very good virtue, but also he gave her son very, very good education. And this also complies to the fact that the 太任 from a very civilized place, and he has the knowledge, she has the knowledge, she has the intelligence, and she transferred the civilized, the advanced knowledge to the Zhou people, to the first king of the Zhou dynasty. So that's why she was also praised and chanted in the Zhou dynasty as well. So here, no matter which history figure the ancestor refers to, it's quite sure this big family, this Zhong family, they have a very good heritage from their ancestors. And at this very, very sad situation, when they parted, and when it's the last time they see each other in their lifetime, they also try to remind their glorious past of this family and to encourage each other. So this is my own explanation. You can also check the general explanation as well. Okay, that's for this long, touching, and very sad poem. The scenario, the vocabulary created in this poem actually is classic, is imprinted in a Chinese mind even till today. So the swallows flying, and the sound go up and down, and when they parted, the person standing still for such a long time and don't turn back, and seeing the girls or seeing the person off in the far distance, even didn't vanish. He cannot see her, cannot see him, still standing there. So that's a very typical parting image for Chinese, not to say crying heavily. Okay, that's for today, and I wish you enjoyed. Bye bye.